Hey, love bugs. Welcome to Love Grind. I'm Ebony, your host. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. The week went by fast, and here we are again, trying to conquer our love addictions and codependencies. I hope your week went well, and I hope you use your heart in your decisions. I know I did. I didn't get in any trouble. That's big for me because I'm a troublemaker. No, I'm just joking. I'm not a troublemaker. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Anyway, love bugs, I just want to remind you to please get on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, like us, comment on our pages, YouTube, of course, Spotify, wherever you can listen to podcasts. Tune in, enjoy, and comment, please. I would love to hear from you. Start a conversation. I just want to let you know I am not a licensed therapist just yet. So anything we talk about tonight on Love Grind, it's just that, a sense of community and helping each other get through this together, our codependencies. So we're going to do that tonight. We're going to talk about how it's time to stop talking and to start taking action. With such barriers we bring into a relationship, romantic, whether it be work, family, why it hinders us to do so if we hold those barriers. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Hopefully we'll learn something together. All right, what barriers stop you from expressing your true feelings in relationships? Join me as we dive deep into the reasons that hold us back from taking action in our relationships. And I'm challenging myself to confront my own fears along the way. Oh yeah, because there's plenty of them, especially just fresh breakup. Well, not too fresh, but fresh enough. There's a lot of fears and opening up and really being my authentic self. What is the importance, love bugs, of taking action in relationships and its importance for personal growth and connection? Well, let's see. Why is it important? And let's give some examples of taking action in our relationships. Something like active listening and validation. Paying full attention to your partner when they're speaking and acknowledging their feelings. That is a really good thing to know someone's listening to what you're saying and taking it in. You can express your appreciation, saying thank you for small things and actively highlighting what you admire in your partner. What about quality time? Deliberately planning activities and moments to spend meaningful time together. Without kids, without your boss, without your phone, just hanging out. Sometimes we lose that with one another with all the things going on. What about physical affection? Showing physical affection through touch, hugs, or small gestures. Oh, I love that touch. Supporting goals, encouraging your partner's aspirations, and offering help when needed. Compromise and flexibility. Being willing to adapt and meet your partner halfway on certain issues. Compromise is huge. When two people come together, there's going to be two different views and two different opinions and perceptions. So when you can compromise, that really makes a strong relationship. Very often we enter relationships with attitudes, mindsets, and habits shaped by our past experiences. Some of these fit into the new relationship nicely, but some create conflicts and problems. The more we try to overlay the old onto the new, the more barriers we will face. Barriers like emotional roadblocks, such as being afraid of commitment, dealing with past traumas, or not knowing how to build back trust can happen to any of us, whether you're single or partnered up. What kind of barriers can prevent action and affect relationships? Well, love bugs, less than 5% of people who have experienced trauma, and we're talking about trauma-related issues like domestic violence, physical and emotional abuse, rape or sexual abuse, and PTSD. They indicated that they're very comfortable addressing trauma-related issues. Most people, like 27%, who have experienced physical and emotional abuse, or 14% who've experienced sexual abuse. In contrast, 27% and 18% rated themselves as very comfortable addressing psychosocial and general mental health issues, respectively. So most people are okay with sharing that and opening up with their trauma and wanting to heal from that. And you got to tell your partner. You got to share that with them so they know sometimes how you're moving and why. Okay, what about being scared of rejection? Most of us aim to avoid rejection because it's not fun. But some of us are truly crippled by the thought. Since relationships require taking risks and being open, there are numerous opportunities to possibly be rejected. On first dates, we discuss our likes and dislikes. We may discuss a bit about our family or social group, and we also put ourselves out there physically with how we dress and present ourselves. These aspects then open us up and the possibilities for judgment and rejection. For those who are paralyzed by the thought of being rejected, It can feel safer to avoid relationships altogether or avoid being truly authentic when in a relationship. If you recognize this in yourself, for someone with a fear of rejection, having these types of communicative moments where you or they feel accepted and loved can decrease the power of that fear. And how I said in the beginning, it's hard to be my authentic self because you're afraid somebody will not accept you. I have to learn, and you have to learn, that everyone has baggage and pasts, some more than others, but genuinely, when someone's attracted to you, they are willing to jump on board with that, even help you out. You might find yourself in a healthy relationship where you're healing from these fears and these traumas, and that is something so exciting to look forward to, and I have to learn that myself. Also, you can avoid change. Another emotional barrier in relationships occurs when one partner changes, whether in regards to their interests or hobbies or political and spiritual views, and the other has trouble adapting to that change. People and relationships change over time. If one or both of the partners fears that the other will become different over time, or sees them changing and is unwilling or unable to accept it, the emotional bond will break. Having the courage to go along with and adapt to the change, love bugs, from a new haircut to a new career move is key to sustaining the relationship. In some cases, the change might be one you're not okay with, and so you don't necessarily need to adapt to it. However, you should not shy away from talking about it with your partner. We're talking about changes like, do you want to have children? Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to get married? Those are deal breakers. And so you want to talk about that with your partner. Be self-aware of what you need and what you want. Same goes for me. I'm still trying to figure out all of the things that I need as a woman and as a partner, what I'm willing to give. And until I can put my finger on it, I won't start a relationship because I don't want to bring somebody else in there with false hopes, thinking one thing and I do another. Feeling self-worth. A lot of us have probably settled into a relationship that has toxic or abusive dynamics, and it can come from how we view ourselves when it comes to self-esteem and confidence. Any instances where your character was torn down can lead to poor self-worth, and it'll be tough to feel like anyone is going to enjoy being in a relationship with you. As a result, you may end up attracting people who also don't see your value. But when you find your value and have higher self-worth, it'll be nearly impossible to settle for a partner who doesn't treat you as a valuable person. That's damn right. Having a skewed view of relationships because of your upbringing. Ooh, there goes our childhood again, love bugs. Our concepts of things like love, compromise, respect, and honor are instilled in us at early ages through our parental figures. We set an emotional foundation that may or may not complement what our partner comes to the relationship with, and may or may not be healthy for the relationship itself. If the home environment you grew up in wasn't a great model for healthy, committed love, it could be different to feel confident going into a relationship of your own one day. Examples of an unstable home environment can include anything from watching your parents barely speak to one another, yet staying committed to seeing physical or emotional abuse. You may then grow up not knowing how to communicate effectively, or there's a lack of confidence that relationships can even be functional or happy. If you saw your parents fighting or arguing, you think that's normal. If you saw domestic violence, you think it's okay for a man to hit a woman, vice versa. And that's not healthy. But if you grew up seeing your parents loving and wonderful, then you go into a relationship expecting the same thing. I grew up with two parents, and I always saw them dancing and having fun, throwing parties, eating, treating us well. But on the other side, I also heard the arguments and the regret from one another and just both of those things. So as I'm growing up, I'm looking for a partner who can do those things with me. And then on the other hand, I can be a little toxic. So you got to really check that. Get some therapy, I don't know. Or just really check in with yourself and make sure you know the ideas of a healthy, happy relationship. And hitting is never okay. And verbally abusing someone is never okay. Letting negative aspects of past relationships affect the present one. People bring specific aspects of their previous relationships into their new relationship, such as communication patterns. For instance, if a past boyfriend became stingy with texting and ultimately it came out that he had been cheating, a new boyfriend who sucks with technology and just doesn't text much elicits the same uneasy feeling of being cheated on. We respond to our current partner the same way we did to our former partner. Conflict and miscommunication are likely. By making assumptions about how they will think, feel, or act based on your past relationship, you are prejudging them and may completely misinterpret their good intentions and actions. Treat them as a unique individual, not as a replica of your ex. Okay, I could do that. If you want two different things, that can be a problem when two people have misaligned relationship expectations. For example, one wants to eventually get married, while the other is fine dating without plans of a long-term commitment. An emotional wall can build up between them. He or she's trying to figure out, why don't you want to marry me? And the other is like, get off my back. It's like avoidant and anxious. We've talked about that before. All too often, one or both parties comes into the relationship with a view of what a relationship should be that has not been well articulated to their partner. We think we're on the same page when it comes to what we want out of the relationship, love bugs, and then we come to realize that our definition of things, such as love, compromise, and intimacy, is not the same as our partners. And eventually, if you and your partner don't communicate and come to a compromise, the wall that builds up can crumble and lead to the end of the relationship. So put it all out there. Don't be ashamed or biased towards anything or experiences that you've had to deal with and push through. That should make you all the more attractive and capable to your partner, right? Hold your head high, explain or let your partner explain to you why you or they are moving the way you are, who you are, how you're working to better that behavior or mindset, and can you get a bit of patience? Can it be enacted, okay? Can I get a bit of patience here? We all do things that will make someone else go, what? And when we slow down with mindfulness, then we can see and understand the root. If you're in a romantic relationship, then all the more reason to do so. For fulfilling life, talk is cheap and actions do speak louder than words. Like I've said, we've all heard that before. It's time that we live by that phrase. How else can we live healthy and practice non-codependent lives? We have to verbalize our reasons in a clear way. We can't expect our loved ones to read our minds or just be able to know why we perform the way that we do at times. Can't expect for them to know that, love bugs. I want to invite you guys tonight to experience your thoughts about how you take action in your relationships. I want to encourage you to check out my other videos and get some more tips how to do so, how to be more confident and self-aware. I also want you to join me and comment and let's start a conversation. I'm glad that you joined me and I hope you learned something. I hope you learned how it is okay to take action and not just talk about it. So love bugs, have a great week. Make all the decisions you can with your heart this week and with empathy, starting with yourself. And until next time, I'm out.